Sometimes it can be difficult as an online coach or consultant to produce content. You don't know what kind of content to produce. And even worse is that you're not consistently producing content. Now, we live in the age of weapons of mass distraction. So you can't just have like one good piece of content and then expect people to buy from you and get clients. You need to show up consistently. You need to be visible. You need to be relevant to make sure that your clients actually see your content and want to book a call with you or want to buy from you. So in this video, I'm going to share you my 5 biggest tips to make sure you are able to produce consistent content. You're going to love this one because I made it super practical as always. And these are my best tips to make sure you produce that consistent content. If you want to be productive, I used to be a productivity mentor for 4 years. Like 80% is just showing up and be consistent. So if you sometimes have content burnout, lack of inspiration, this thing will probably help you. The first one, how to actually embrace consistency and show up fully. Well, the best way to be consistent is to first set a standard to be consistent. Let me know in the comments if you're a fan of Gary Vee, who often talks about hustle culture and posting a gazillion times a day. Well, something you also want to ask yourself with consistency is this sustainable? We're not only building businesses, we're also building lifestyles. So if you want to be able to show up consistently, end the day feeling fulfilled, you want to make sure you set a standard for yourself. And then, well, you want to make sure that you have a commitment that you can have that standard or above. Can be once a day, can be twice a day, can be 4 times per week. The same thing with building habits. It's not about going from nothing to maximum. It's gradually getting better every time. So what is the kind of content schedule you could set for yourself that you could actually keep up so you have a standard to reach? The second one, this is super crucial, and this will shift your mindset, is you want to seize the moment of inspiration. So you don't want to wait for enthusiasm and spontaneity to be there. That is an unreliable strategy. That's why a lot of people say like, hey, I'm procrastinating and I'm relying on motivation or being passionate to get started. Well, that's not reliable because emotions are not predictable. Emotions are not consistent. So if you want to have a strategy to be consistent, you want to make sure, A, that you show up whether you feel like it or not. But when that moment of inspiration is there, that enthusiasm, that energy, that passion is there, then you want to seize that moment. So you want to make sure that you focus more on expression instead of impression. A lot of times the energy of an idea, like how motivated you are, has to do with how active that is in your imagination and in your mind. So you want to start expressing ideas as fast as possible when they capture your imagination. Maybe you already also had this scenario that you're being a bit of a perfectionist. I'm a recovering perfectionist myself, that you're just so busy planning like the perfect script, the right hook, the right angle to film, and you spend so much time preparing that by the time you actually put it out there, the energy, the motivation is just super low. So it's much better in the act of the moment when you still have that inspired idea to actually put it out in the world. So reduce the time between having an inspired idea and actually putting it out there. That will make it resonate a lot more because you're living the message instead of just studying it. Preparation is good, but over preparation and perfectionism can have you stall an idea that by the time you actually put it out there, you're not motivated and energized anymore. Another thing that you can also do is just, that's easy to produce content, is just show what you're working on. That's what a lot of people struggle with, especially introverts like me and INTJ. An easy way to just make content is if you're helping a client, preparing for a mastermind call, if you're working on new client material, if you're reading a book, anything that has to do with your business or what your business stands for, just capture what you're doing. Make a selfie or make a picture and then share it in your stories or on your post. That is also an easy way how to actually make consistent content. Now, this is about the learning curve. You have to understand that not all your content will be perfect. You basically have to cringe a little at your old content, right? If you're not going to look back at your videos a year ago and not cringe a little, then you're not doing it right, right? The only way to be average is to be bad first. The only way to be good is to be average first. And the only way to be great is to be good first. It's a stepping stone, and you do it step by step. So keep in mind that by definition, half of your content will be below average. But through consistent practice, getting feedback, refining your craft, you're going to get better, right? So it's not about waiting until you're ready and you get started. No, you get started. You have the practice, you get feedback, and you get better. Almost 80% of the time, action is always the answer to get more reps in and to get better. Nobody is perfect at lifting weights when they go to the gym. But if you show up consistently at the gym, even on days that you feel off, you will become stronger and stronger, and then actually lift the weights that you want to lift. Same thing with riding, same thing with trying any skill. So just show up imperfect as you are, doing what you can, knowing what you know right now. And then write that first draft without filtering yourself and just write it down. Focus on expression, and then you can refine it, right? Like the writers, like writing is maybe 20%. 80% is just going through that draft and adapting it. But just put it out on paper and put it out there. And you can even use AI tools like ChatGPT. Down below, if you haven't downloaded my AI Edge guide yet with the best AI tools for content creation, you can download my free guide down below in the description and in the comments, where you find some useful tools that can help you generate audio, video, images, and even some good tools to even optimize ChatGPT and other AI tools out there. Now, the first one, we're almost at the end. This is a semi-last one. You want to have a content idea library. That is like a system where you record your ideas for content, and you can organize it with folders and on Evernote. So let me just share for a second what that looks like for me. So let me show you. I have these folders in Evernote, as you can see. So I also have these ideas according to the topic, and content ideas. I have a whole academy that helps people how to make content in a simple way on the different social media platforms and different formats. So if you're interested in that, you can check the description. But this is where I capture ideas, and then you put them in a folder, and that way it also helps you show up consistently. So here you have all my ideas with value posts, provocative posts, quotes, questions, etc. So even on days when you are not inspired, you can still use this thing to actually produce some material. And then the last one that I also highly recommend you to do, multitasking is never the thing that a man is fantastic at. The fifth one is to commit to a content schedule. So just as when you set the minimum amount of content you will make per day, set up a writing schedule, writing time, and a posting time. This will make sure you show up consistently, and you transition from sporadic creativity to a consistent content flow. And also for this, I actually have a system in Evernote. You can also use other tools. For instance, Notion is also a great tool. I just here have the notebooks per day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I have the content formats there. And then I have the ideas for week 1 and week 2, like YouTube video, text, and shorts. So if you just pre-plan in advance, if you batch it, if you put it in the right folder and you have a consistent schedule, that makes you win. When I talk about being productive as an online coach or consultant, I also here have my whole blocks, what I work on in the morning, in the early afternoon, late evening. I'm personally not a morning person. You can let me know in the comments if you're a morning person or not. But this will help you become consistent, show up consistently, refine yourself without being exhausted, because content burnout is real. And I don't want you to go to that emotional roller coaster from ups and downs, and then one week you post a lot and another week it's crickets. No, with these 5 tips, you will be able to produce quality content consistently. Now you know how to produce content consistently. You also want to make sure that you're actually active on the right kind of social media platforms, because I made a mistake myself in the past by building my social following the wrong way. If you want to learn from my mistakes and actually learn how to build that loyal following, those true fans on the right social media platforms, you definitely want to check out this video. See you there. Enjoy.